rains out here, it rains hard. It rains an inch in an hour, 25 mils in an hour. It can rain 500 mils in a day. It has. 1871, there were no trains. You couldn't get here except you had to walk. Then the Spanish came through a few years later and said it was Nueva España. They didn't live here. They didn't even stop. And then in 1821, the Mexicans took over. So France and Spain fought wars over this territory for 200 years, and they never lived here. And they just said they owned it. But the people that lived here, we call them the natives. So Dallas is named after a French guy, an old Indian trader. He'd follow the natives around with a mule and trade Iron Age tools to them. But it wasn't he that started this town. It was a fella from Knoxville, Tennessee named John Bryan. So down here in these woods, even though Mexico, they said it was the United States of Mexico, they didn't live here. The closest they ever got was San Antonio, Texas, 300 miles away. So Mexico's Catholic. And there was always tension around religion. And in 1836, a Spaniard who'd been invited to Mexico, put in charge of the army. He started a war he couldn't win, and he lost half of Mexico. His name was Santa Anna. He seized control of Mexico City, a coup d'etat. He took over the capital and he told everybody in Mexico they had to be Catholics. They had to turn in all their guns. They didn't get to vote anymore. And these people in these woods are Americans. They are never going to turn in their guns. They hold up signs that say, "Come and get it." And if you tell Americans we don't get to vote, we have an election on who shoots you first. And so they seceded in 1836. And this territory became the Republic of Texas, an independent nation for the next 10 years, fighting a war with Mexico. Instead of making Texas smaller, they annexed to the United States as the friendship state. And Mexico declared war on the U.S., and it didn't go well for Mexico. So this is a model of John Bryan's cabin. This cabin here. And you come to this little village that he's going to call Dallas. He would give you 1 free acre of land per person in your family. Free land. And it worked. He didn't have to go home. The orange one was Rock Island Plow Company, more farm machinery. But this is where John Kennedy was murdered by Lee Harvey. But you can't go to the freeway. So this plaza so Lee Oswald's in this building and he's where, bang! Lee Oswald shoots John Kennedy and John Conley with the same bullet. There's no magic. John Conley's sitting in the car sideways. He's 6 floors up. So the top floor has 2 finger-like windows. He's not there, he's one right below it. There's a box in the window, it's halfway open. That's where he's at, behind the wall looking up Elm Street. That's the only one right below that. Also, pay attention to the signals because it's a 5-way intersection.
Where Jeff can do that.
To build this giant convention center. So starting at the Omni and going all the way exhibition space. Out in front is was happy. The newspaper started spelling IMP, but I said it's not his fault. He had no idea he was dealing with a crooked city hall. Funny English.
Crooked.
But they put this covered with bums. But in 2012, they started converting all these old empty buildings into apartments and hotels. Into this park here on the left. Excuse me, this is Thanksgiving Square. It has an open curling of bells, 2 waterfalls. I mean, excuse me, Jersey is the dog. This fella right here is the doggy park. If you're wondering why there's it's green. It's locked. And he's got that marble sculpture in there. He said he was going to keep sign on Dallas.